are there perhaps any just common misconceptions that businesses have about inventory management that this misconception just ultimately leads to a slew of mistakes?
Think one of them that we see all the time is that they'll either be very focused on their inventory numbers they're getting from their warehouse count or warehouses, whatever inventory system they're using, versus what they have on the balance sheet on their books. And there can be big discrepancies. And then they get frustrated when they're like, well, you have this big inventory adjustment. We'd like to narrow this down or write it off. And they don't want to take that expense or gain or whatever it is. But it's because they're not, from the beginning, they weren't comparing what they were getting from their actual inventory systems to what they have on their books.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people think it's kind of like a set it and forget it of like, well, I'm paying every month for this inventory system, and so I shouldn't have to worry about inventory anymore. But it really does take having your team trained, making sure that people are in there updating and maintaining the system every day. And then also sending the invoices to your accountant so that, like Lee said, if the information is on one end but not on the other end, then things aren't going to line up. And so you need to make sure that you're recording everything in both places. I think also a lot of people can get sucked in, I guess, by bells and whistles. And it's really hard to know all the questions to ask. So I would say, like, before you even start talking to the different types of inventory platforms that you might consider trying, write down kind of a list of questions. What are the steps that you go through in your inventory processes? How are things received? What places are your inventories stored? Stuff like that. So that when you start talking to these people and write down your expectations of what you want the inventory system to do for you, so that you're prepared and you're not getting caught up with like, oh, well, they say, I don't know, it can do this fancy extra thing that seems really cool, but does it have the fundamental things that you're looking for that would actually help you manage your inventory? Um, and then just be really systematic and thoughtful with which system you want to go with. Um, and then the same thing with the integration. If you're going to integrate it with your accounting, it's not going to be set it and forget it. You need to make sure that's meticulously set up. You need to go through all the processes and make sure they're accounted for, and then work with your accountants. Uh, because if you set it up, kind of like what we said with the last question, if you set it, aren't careful about getting it set up correctly in the beginning, it can really cause a lot of problems down the road. Um, and yeah, you do need to have systems and processes in place to keep that inventory system maintained and up to date. A lot of people um, can even get it running well in the beginning, and then they kind of forget to keep maintaining stuff. There will be all kinds of POs that aren't received, and costs aren't updated and stuff like that. Um, so it's something, again, it's a huge part of your business. You need to spend time on it, or you need to have a team in place who's spending time on it. No inventory system is going to be perfect, and nothing can you just set and forget about it.